Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to the channel. And I want to talk today about the Captain Marvel behind this, our deleted footage or whatever that they've used to promote the DVD sales. And I know this is sort of an old issue. I wasn't really going to chime in on it, but I heard a lot of other people talking about some things, and one aspect of it occurred to me. Plus, it's interesting how Disney is so desperate. They are going after YouTubers who dared make a video about this. They've tried to block Geeks and Gamers, and I think that Star Wars girl and a couple of other people who dared speak out against this. And so much is going on here. The interesting psychology of the people working at Disney who perpetrate this kind of nonsense, as well as the people who defend this nonsense. It's just fascinating how much of their own trauma and their own damage they're trying to project and trying to place out there and insist upon in the world that's simply not there. So where do we start? Let's look at the actual scene first. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's very easy to find. I'm not going to show any images or anything like that in this video. I'm not going to give them one little tiny toehold to try to do anything to copyright claim this. But in the advertisement for the DVD, they shown a scene that was deleted, I guess, from the movie. I only saw the movie once in the theater, and it was painful to watch. So I don't know if I don't know how different it was, but it was a little bit different. But anyway, in this scene, she's fresh on Earth, and she's looking at this paper, I think, a newspaper, and this biker pulls up next to her, and basically is trying to flirt with her, right? Trying to make some time with her. And it says something to her to the effect of, why don't you smile or something like that. Clearly a dig at everybody who was saying, why doesn't Captain Marvel smile in any of her damn previews or anything like that? Clearly a dig at that. So what does she do? Well, she does what Brie Larson truly wants to do to everybody who dares say that she should smile, which is assault them, physically assault them. She grabs his hand and twists it around. I mean, that's assault. That's assault. He didn't physically threaten her or anything like that. She assaults him and then steals his bike. Steals it just outright. This is not the actions of a hero, and people have pointed out a lot of great things about this. I wanted to liken it to a scene in Alita Battle Angel, and I've been recently reading the novelization of that movie just in preparation for the DVD release of that in July, which is the one that you should be spending your money on. And one of the scenes I read in the novelization, and I'll do a review of it because it's interesting, that and the prequel book that came out for it, but the scene that's in the film when she's playing rollerball for the first time with Hugo and I think his name is Tanji, something like that, for the first time on the streets there in Iron City. And Taji, if I got his name right, is Hugo's friend who tackles her or is rough with her, knocks her down pretty harshly at one point. And she's just getting the hang of using the roller skates and everything like that, but knocks her down pretty harshly. And I remember watching this in the theater too, and Hugo comes over and tries to help her up, but she kind of brushes Hugo off. Not mad at Hugo, doesn't make a big show of it, like, I could do it myself, how dare you, man. No, not at all. In fact, she has a crush on Hugo. Oh my gosh, feminists can't handle that. But she kind of brushes him off because she's upset that someone did that to her, and she wants to I guess get revenge, but also just find her own footing and prove to herself that she's not somebody who can be so pushed around. This is still fresh in the movie. She's still dealing with her amnesia and all of that. So she has this fixated look on Tanji. I'm just going to call him Tanji. I'm sure the name's not quite right there. But anyway, she has this fixated look on him for the next moment or two until they start the next round. And she makes it a point to go and slam him. Legal. It's in the game. And that gets him back, and it asserts her as somebody who can't be pushed around. Look at the context of that scene. He was a clear oppressor. He was the clear instigator of this conflict. He did something to her that was to the degree that deserved a physical payback. What did the biker do to Carol Danvers? Said that she should smile. What is that? That's nothing. And to hear people try to defend this and try to talk about this scene, again, you've got to think, how much of their own warped psychology and twisted psyche are they projecting onto this? I've heard people say things like, you men just don't know how it is to be cornered by a, as a woman out here, to be cornered by a man and to feel threatened. Okay, that didn't happen in the scene. Carol Danvers wasn't cornered. She was outside. What was going to happen outside? This wasn't some dark alley or some dark corner of a seedy club. This was outside. He made no move to physically assault her in any way. Didn't slap her ass or something like that. I mean, they could have made this scene merit some sort of physical response from her. They could have if they wanted to, but they didn't even feel like they had to, because, the mere fact that he wanted her to smile, well, that's enough for physical violence. That's enough. If you're a wrong thinker, and if you dare try to put your wrong think out in the world, you're a Nazi, right? Or you're a misogynist, and the left will just assume wipe the floor with you. They have no difference in their mind between a rational response and the physical violence like that. So people have tried to defend this. It's nonsense. And it goes to Disney's, with their trying to take down videos and try to copyright claim and try to defend Brie Larson, Princess Brie Larson, at all costs. I remember when the film Captain Marvel was in theaters and the Rotten Tomatoes was pulling all of its shenanigans, which was, if you don't remember, for those who just were under a rock or something like that, Rotten Tomatoes had always had the function on their site that asked people, is this a movie you want to see or not? Obviously, you couldn't answer that question if you'd already seen the film. This was, do you want to see the movie? And an overwhelming majority of people were clicking no interest in this piece of crap. And Rotten Tomatoes said, "Oh, well, that's trolls. We're going to change our site around so that number doesn't get out there." So they took that function down, all of because Disney wanted them to. And then Disney came out in an article shortly thereafter. It was an article with some people who work for Disney. I forgot exactly what their titles were, but they said, "Yeah, we have methods of dealing with these trolls. We're actively combating the trolls in our marketing campaign." What is your concept of language? How am I a troll if I don't want to see your damn movie? If I say, "Hey, what you're doing there is crap. I think it's poor storytelling. I think it's poor art. I think it's lazy. I think it's beneath what your company's capable of, and I don't want to go see it." Oh, you're a troll. That's their mentality. That's their mentality, and that's the mentality of the SJWs who try to defend this scene. And they'll say things, they have no argument, because they'll try to attack it in a separate ways. Like, one of the things they like to do is go, "Oh, poor men out there can't handle a scene that had a little violence." Okay, well, that's not an argument. You're not arguing anything that we said, so clearly you have no argument. There's no defense to it. You're just jumping right to the let's try to shame or ridicule. It's an ad hominem fallacy. And then it also tries to diminish and strawman the argument. Oh, it was just a little bit of violence. No, she is a hero, somebody who's supposed to be a hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, no less. I mean, it'd be different if it was in a Zack Snyder verse or something. But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, somebody they're claiming to be a hero, and not just a hero, but the hero to lead the Marvel Cinematic Universe from this point on. They're letting her assault a guy and steal his personal property. That's not heroism. And it's also telling the viewers, it's telling people that this is the definition not only of heroism in our universe going forward, but this is the definition of villainy in our universe going forward. If you dare prescribe to wrongthink, if you dare tell a woman that she should smile, then you're a villain. You're a villain worthy of assault. You're a villain worthy of a hero coming after you, not only enacting violence on your person, but also stealing your personal property. And SJWs see no problem with this. They see no conflict with this. They think this is fine. This is great. How dare you overreact? It's bad storytelling. Yeah, you can talk about the cultural implications of it, but just go right down to the art. This is bad storytelling. And this is why Captain Marvel, the film, failed on so many levels. You're not at all interested or invested in her character. You don't care about her. The only people who watched that film and cared about her and were invested in her non-existent arc were the people who went into the film already having swallowed all of the agenda platforming and all of the SJW propaganda that the film was promoted on. Those are the people that were invested in her character and tried to argue that it has some sort of arc. She had no arc. I've been talking about this for a while. She didn't want a hero's journey. She went on the feminist journey. The feminist journey was to find out that I've been victimized and it's all the patriarchy's fault, and I'm so much more powerful than I realize, and I'm just going to tap into that power and be even more amazing than I already know I am. That's not a story. That's boring as shit. That's a self-help group. That's not a fiction. That's not a story. So yeah, anymore, I think we'll just go into ground that's already been covered a number of times. But it's really ridiculous. I wanted to compare that scene to the scene in Battle Angel, or Alita Battle Angel, that I think was a good example of how to do a scene like that well, properly, and how they just don't even try. They don't even try because they figured they've got the right philosophy. You know, they're on the right side of history, they'll say it. So they don't, who cares about storytelling? Who cares about crafting a great scene? They just all they need to do is fly their little feminist flag, and they feel like they're in. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. It's going to go down. Captain Marvel's going to go down in history as one of the most laughable films. It truly will. And this whole era right now where Princess Brie Larson is being protected by the media is going to go down in history as well. And people who engage in it, yeah, it's they're going to have some egg on their face soon enough. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that. I'll be back with more, with the review of Godzilla King of Monsters coming up soon, and more book reviews, cultural analyses, live streams, all that to come. Until next time, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero stories you love. Thanks for watching.
Do you like comics that are unafraid to portray women as feminine and men as masculine? Do you enjoy being entertained rather than preached to? If so, then you'll love my own graphic novel currently on Indiegogo. Tales from the Stacks is an anthology series in the vein of The Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt. It contains 3 uncanny tales to thrill and haunt you long after reading. With interior art by Dave T. and variant covers by John Malin, Kyle Ritter, and Kyung Lee, you have lots of options to choose from. You can find the link in the description below or search Indiegogo for Tales from the Stacks, and tell the comic industry you don't have to settle for their social agenda platforming. Thanks. And last but not least, don't forget that your Professor Geek now has a merch store. Check out the current options from t-shirts to magnets to the iconic Professor Geek coffee mug, and let me know if you'd like to see something else. The link is in the description, or you can go to cafepress.com/ProfessorGeek.